Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure seekers. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Kennedy half dollars, a series rich in history, design variations, and hidden gems. While many of these coins jingle in pockets, a select few are worth a small fortune. Let's explore the top four most valuable and expensive Kennedy half dollar coins, highlighting their unique features, mint marks, and current market values. Let's get started. First up, the 1969 D. Kennedy half dollar, the worn-down American legend that could still make you a millionaire. Beneath the dull gleam of a well-worn silver alloy lies one of the most captivating coins in American numismatic history, the 1969 D. Kennedy half dollar. Though its surface may be faded, perhaps even tarnished by time, its story is anything but forgettable. Struck at the Denver Mint during a time of national transformation and global unrest, this coin is more than a piece of metal. It is a tangible fragment of American resilience, hope, and homage to one of the most iconic presidents ever to lead the free world. It belongs to a series born in mourning, yet shining with honor, created just months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination in 1963. The Kennedy half dollar is a symbol of collective remembrance, frozen in time. This particular issue, minted in 1969, was the last regular issue Kennedy half dollar to be struck in 40% silver, a composition that would soon vanish from U.S. coinage. From 1971 onward, the U.S. Mint abandoned silver for a copper-nickel-clad composition, making the 1969 D one of the final silver warriors of its kind. Although it has the Denver Mint's D mint mark to the left of the olive branch on the reverse side, it is often the subtle imperfections, those toned, oxidized surfaces, or even dark patches of wear on the obverse, that make certain examples unique and deeply intriguing to collectors. What one person might consider bad condition might actually be the coin world's equivalent of ancient patina, a mark of historic survival. Measuring 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighing 11.50 grams, the 1969 D. Kennedy half dollar features a reeded edge and a solid core of 40% silver and 60% copper. Its obverse proudly displays the youthful, stoic bust of President Kennedy, sculpted by Gilroy Roberts. His forward-facing profile, gazing toward a future never seen, is both haunting and hopeful. Even in poor condition, the sharp outline of Kennedy's jaw and the bold, "In God We Trust," motto below echo America's determination during the Cold War era. The date, 1969, is placed below the neckline, anchoring the coin in one of the most turbulent yet revolutionary decades of the 20th century. On the reverse, designer Frank Gasparo presents a heraldic eagle inspired by the Great Seal of the United States, a fierce yet noble creature holding an olive branch of peace and arrows of defense. The eagle's wings stretch skyward, embracing the words United States of America and the denomination half dollar. Even if the coin has lost its original sheen and some detail due to wear, the symbolic power remains deeply etched into its core, a testament to freedom, sacrifice, and enduring national strength. What makes this coin potentially worth life-changing sums isn't just its silver content or its connection to a martyred president. It's the increasing scarcity of original, low mintage, high error, or dramatically worn examples that have survived the test of time. A heavily discolored or corroded 1969 D. Kennedy half dollar might not scream perfection in a traditional collector's sense, but to the right investor or numismatic enthusiast, its uniqueness can drive demand through the roof. Combine that with historically significant die errors, dramatic planchet flaws, or off-center strikes, and you have a coin that auction houses are watching like hawks. Some rare varieties, including doubled dies and striking anomalies, have fetched tens of thousands of dollars in past auctions. One unassuming example with a rare misprint or dramatic tone could indeed be your golden ticket. As of mid-2025, circulated 1969 D. Kennedy half dollars in poor to fair condition generally trade for $5 to $15, mostly based on their silver melt value. However, coins with strong silver toning, rare minting errors, or unique damage patterns have been known to attract bidders willing to pay $1,000 to $10,000 or more, depending on rarity and provenance. In some especially rare cases, such as those discovered with mirror-like surfaces, proof-like strikes, significant minting flaws, or strong doubling, values have soared beyond $50,000, and collectors speculate that undiscovered varieties still exist that could command six-figure payouts. Demand for Kennedy half dollars, especially silver-era editions like the 1969 D, has surged in recent years, fueled by social media numismatic communities and a growing population of young investors hungry for historical value. Coin influencers and YouTube collectors often spotlight worn and discolored coins, reminding viewers that imperfection doesn't mean worthlessness. It might actually mean undiscovered fortune. So, take another look at that darkened, perhaps even corroded Kennedy half dollar hiding in your coin jar or tucked in a forgotten drawer. That bad condition might just be a mask, hiding a rare flaw, a unique variation, or a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that could turn your humble half dollar into a millionaire's treasure. Because in the world of rare coins, it's not always the shiniest that shine the brightest. Sometimes, it's the scarred survivors that tell the richest stories. Next up, the 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar, the circulated silverless sleeper that could make you a millionaire. In the hidden corners of your coin jar or buried deep within a forgotten wallet compartment, you might find a coin that seems modest at first glance. It lacks the glitter of silver or the dramatic historical headlines of earlier decades. But don't be fooled. The 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar, even in its circulated and color-toned condition, could carry far more value than you think. Beneath its unassuming copper-nickel-clad surface lies the potential to unlock wealth, especially if it bears one of the rare errors, oddities, or unintentional anomalies that drive elite collectors into fierce bidding wars. This is the modern American coin quietly transforming ordinary people into millionaires, and it's hiding in plain sight. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar is part of a long-standing series that honors President John F. Kennedy, whose legacy of inspiration, courage, and tragic sacrifice continues to stir hearts around the world. Introduced in 1964, the Kennedy half dollar replaced the Franklin half in tribute to JFK following his assassination. By 1996, silver was no longer part of the regular issue. The coin was now made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, weighing 11.34 grams with a diameter of 30.61 millimeters. The 1996 edition features a reeded edge, a P. mint mark placed just below Kennedy's neckline, and the familiar Gilroy Roberts-designed obverse. A bold, youthful profile of President Kennedy, his determined expression locked in time and hope. The reverse, created by Frank Gasparo, continues to display the heraldic eagle derived from the Great Seal of the United States, gripping an olive branch and arrows, symbols of peace and readiness for war. Even in a circulated condition, the coin's detail can be striking, and natural color toning caused by oxidation, humidity, or age can add exceptional character. Some collectors specifically seek out examples with golden, blue, or rainbow toning, which can elevate the coin's aesthetic appeal and market desirability. One might call them flawed, but in the eyes of elite numismatists, such color shifts are unique fingerprints of time, transforming common coins into one-of-a-kind art. But what elevates a 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar from pocket change to millionaire-making magic? The answer lies in rarity and anomaly. While over 24 million of these coins were minted, not all were created equal. A small handful left the Philadelphia Mint with unintentional die errors, striking defects, or even off-metal compositions. Coins with doubled dies, off-center strikes, or struck on foreign planchets, blanks intended for other coins or countries, have been found and verified, and they've commanded eye-watering prices at auctions. Some examples have been known to fetch $5,000 to over $50,000, especially when preserved in high grades or with jaw-dropping toning. And here's the kicker. Many of these ultra-rare variants still haven't been discovered. The right mistake, on the right 1996 P coin, in the right hands, that's a potential six-figure or even seven-figure payday. Market demand for Kennedy half dollars has been surging in recent years, especially as coin influencers and TikTok numismatics bring younger collectors into the fold. Even circulated Kennedy halves are getting scooped up faster than ever, especially those from the 1990s with verified errors or dramatic patinages. Grading agencies like PCGS and NGC are seeing an uptick in submissions from this era, proving that treasure hunters are actively on the hunt for that one mysterious jackpot coin. In 2025, a regular 1996 P in typical circulated condition might trade for $1 to $3, mostly for novelty or collector purposes. But in high mint state, MS67+, the value rises dramatically, with record auction sales reaching $1,000 plus. And error coins? Those are the true wildcards. Some have sold for $10,000, while others remain unpriced unicorns, potentially capable of life-changing sums if offered at the right time. So, how do you know if your 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar is the one? Look closer. Is there doubling on the lettering or Kennedy's profile? Is the coin off-center, struck with rotation, or unusually thin or thick? Does it have strange colors, deep golds, purples, or oceanic blues, naturally formed through aging? Even in worn condition, these anomalies electrify the market, and if you spot one, don't dismiss it. That tarnished half dollar might just be America's next million-dollar coin. In a world obsessed with flawless perfection, this coin is a reminder that imperfections are power. The 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar, especially those with color circulation, is a symbol of modern hidden wealth, a numismatic sleeper with the potential to turn your ordinary afternoon into a story worth telling for generations. Check your change, scour your coin rolls, and dig through forgotten piles, because somewhere out there, one 1996 P coin holds the secret that could rewrite your financial future forever. Next up, the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar, the brilliant bronze-colored treasure hiding in very fine condition that could make you a millionaire. Amid the countless coins that pass through hands, pockets, and dusty drawers across America, few are more underestimated than the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar. At first glance, it appears as just another copper-nickel coin, aged, perhaps, with hints of bronze or golden hues brought on by natural toning and decades of circulation. But beneath its surface lies a fascinating story of rarity, patriotism, and hidden value. If you hold a 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar in very fine condition, especially one with rich toning or a little-noticed mint error, you could be cradling a potential numismatic jackpot, a coin that may one day crown you a millionaire. Struck at the Denver Mint, this half dollar features the proud and enduring D. Mint mark, symbolizing its Rocky Mountain origin. As part of the Kennedy half dollar series that began in 1964, the 1981 edition bridges the tail end of a turbulent decade and the dawn of the Reagan era. With a mintage of 13,460,581 coins, it is by no means the rarest on paper, but rarity isn't always about mintage. It's about condition, color, and surprise. Most coins from this era saw heavy circulation. Very few survived in high-end condition, and even fewer developed the kind of colorful, lustrous patinas that collectors dream about. Rich ambers, honey golds, deep violets, or even electric blues formed through years of environmental exposure. Crafted from a copper-nickel-clad composition over a pure copper core, the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar weighs 11.34 grams and measures 30.61 millimeters in diameter with a reeded edge. On the obverse is the sharply chiseled bust of President John F. Kennedy, his hair swept back with striking detail, his jawline strong and expressive, his gaze etched with the vision of a better America. Above his profile reads the bold word Liberty, while the national motto, In God We Trust, and the date, 1981, are emblazoned below. In very fine condition, the obverse detail remains crisp, with visible hair texture and minimal flatness in the cheek or jaw. Flip it over and the reverse comes to life with Frank Gasparo's iconic eagle design, wings spread wide, holding the olive branch of peace in one talon and arrows of defense in the other. Encircled by 50 stars and the inscriptions, United States of America and half dollar. This is not just a coin. It's a microcosm of American strength and diplomacy. In very fine condition, you'll still see clean feathering in the wings, sharp lines in the shield, and integrity in the stars, a design holding firm after more than 4 decades of use. So what makes this coin special enough to turn a collector into a millionaire? First, its condition and toning. Most 1981 D. Kennedy half dollars are worn, scratched, or dulled by years of heavy circulation. A very fine specimen, with consistent luster, minimal wear, and dazzling natural toning, can stand out dramatically in the marketplace. Second, and most crucially, are errors and varieties. A small number of 1981 D half dollars have been identified with striking anomalies, including off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double dies, and weak strikes due to misaligned dies. Any of these errors, when verified and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can push this ordinary coin into extraordinary value territory. As of mid-2025, a typical 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar in very fine condition might fetch $1.50 to $5, largely for its collector appeal. But coins with deep, vibrant toning can bring in $20 to $200, depending on the aesthetics and market timing. However, a coin with a rare mint error, especially in VF or higher grade, can skyrocket in value, with auction listings showing realized prices of $1,000 to $15,000 for dramatic flaws. And the Holy Grail? Uncatalogued or extremely rare die varieties, known to appear from time to time, can command 6 figures if discovered in the right condition and marketed properly. Combine that with historical interest, growing demand, and scarcity in pristine form, and your 1981 D coin could very well break numismatic records. Demand for Kennedy half dollars has rebounded sharply in recent years, thanks to the rise of TikTok coin hunters, YouTube treasure seekers, and a new generation of investors hungry for history-backed assets. Collectors are particularly eyeing coins from the late 1970s and early 1980s, an era once overlooked, which makes the 1981 D a prime candidate for future value explosions. Enthusiasts are now scouring pocket change, estate sales, and coin rolls, seeking the next overlooked gem. If your coin has both beauty and error, it could command bidding wars on platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections. So before you dismiss that shining half dollar in your palm, the one with the rich color, the smooth touch, the dignified wear, take a moment. Examine it. Research it. Hold it to the light and admire the legacy etched in its copper-nickel skin. Because that 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar in very fine condition, with its potential for striking anomalies and irreplaceable patina, might just be the golden key to unlocking millionaire status. Next up, the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar, the circulated bronze-tone titan that could make you a millionaire overnight. At first glance, the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar seems like an ordinary coin, a relic from a bygone era, perhaps weathered and dull from decades of circulation. It's likely that millions of Americans have casually passed it from hand to hand without ever giving it a second thought. But what if that humble half dollar you've tucked away in a drawer or found in your loose change is actually a life-changing fortune in disguise? Beneath the tarnish, wear, and golden bronze tones of age, the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar could be a sleeping giant, a rare anomaly, a historic first, a million-dollar mistake just waiting to be discovered. This iconic coin was minted in Denver, bearing the distinctive D. mint mark, and it holds historical significance unlike any other in the Kennedy series. Why? Because 1971 marked the first year that the U.S. Mint stopped producing Kennedy half dollars with any silver content. Gone were the 40% silver issues of the late 1960s. The 1971 D was struck in a completely copper-nickel clad composition, bonded over a pure copper core. It weighs 11.34 grams, with a diameter of 30.61 millimeters and a reeded edge, and it proudly carries the legacy of a martyred president who captured the heart of a nation. On the obverse, Gilroy Roberts' powerful portrait of John F. Kennedy remains a testament to American hope and resilience. The president's stoic profile is sharply detailed in higher-grade coins, though in circulation condition, where may soften the hairlines and jaw. Even so, the coin's emotional gravity is undiminished. Above his head arcs the word liberty, while beneath lies "In God We Trust," and the bold date 1971. Just beneath Kennedy's neckline, you'll see the all-important D mint mark, your first clue that this is a Denver-born version of history. Flip the coin and you'll find Frank Gasparo's intricately designed reverse. The American bald eagle, wings spread in a commanding posture, shield on its chest, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbols of war and peace. The eagle is encircled by 50 stars and inscriptions of United States of America and $50. Even in circulated condition, this design can still shine, particularly when the coin has developed natural toning, shades of bronze, gold, blue, or gray brought on by oxidation, age, and environmental exposure. Collectors go wild for beautifully toned coins, and certain color patterns can double or even triple the value, despite wear. But here's where things get truly electrifying. While the 1971 D. Kennedy $50 is not rare in general, with a mintage of over 302 million coins, a small number were struck on 40% silver planchets by mistake. These ultra-rare minting errors occurred as leftover silver blanks were accidentally used during the transition to copper-nickel. Only a tiny handful of these error coins have been authenticated, and when they show up at auction, the world takes notice. In fact, a known example of a 1971 D struck on a 40% silver planchet sold for over $13,000, and that was years ago. In today's market, a well-preserved example could push $50,000 to $100,000 or more, especially if it carries other unique features like doubling, misstrikes, or stunning toning. Beyond that, 1971 D $50 with other die errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or rotated dies, have surfaced and consistently sold for thousands. One double die obverse specimen, even in circulated condition, fetched over $1,200, and such coins are becoming harder to find as collectors and dealers snatch them up. Even more incredible, certain unconfirmed rumors within numismatic circles speak of 1971 D. Kennedy $50 struck on planchets intended for foreign coins or other U.S. denominations, and should one of those ever be authenticated and sold, it could absolutely shatter the million-dollar ceiling. As of 2025, a standard 1971 D. Kennedy $50 in typical circulation condition may trade for 50 cents to $2, largely for novelty or historic interest. But once you add eye-catching natural toning, even circulated pieces can jump to $10 to $50. If you're lucky enough to hold one with a verifiable mint error, especially one involving silver composition or striking flaws, then you're no longer just holding a coin. You're holding a six-figure treasure with the potential to change your life overnight. Interest in Kennedy $50 is skyrocketing. The rise of digital coin collectors, YouTube influencers, and viral TikTok videos showing rare coin finds has led to a modern gold rush. Except this time, it's copper-nickel, and it's all about knowledge. More and more people are hunting rolls, attending estate sales, and revisiting old coin albums in search of the big one. And the 1971 D. Kennedy $50, thanks to its historical timing, its error potential, and its unassuming looks, is emerging as one of the most exciting sleepers of the 20th century. So if you have a 1971 D. Kennedy $50 with golden bronze patina, solid detail, or a peculiar weight or ring, don't ignore it. Test it. Weigh it. Examine every letter, every edge. That ordinary coin could contain a silver soul, a minting mistake, or a rare variety that collectors will pay anything to own. It could be the million-dollar miracle hiding in your hand, the kind of story coin legends are made of. In a world of fast money and fleeting trends, the 1971 D. Kennedy $50 is a reminder that true value sometimes comes quietly, worn around the edges, toned by time, and waiting patiently for someone smart enough to see its golden destiny.